How's it going, everyone? This is Matthew with Lost in Translation. Today we're going to make something that my mother has sent me as a recipe. It's called FROGS. There's many different iterations of it. People call it macaroons or anything like that. But let's get started. So what you're going to need is you're going to need butter. You're going to need vanilla, cocoa powder, sugar, oatmeal, milk, salt, and coconut. So bear with me. This is the first time I'm doing it. But essentially, I got two things here. One for boiling on the stove and one for mixing up the dry ingredients. And also, to be prepared, I have a baking sheet lined with tin foil. There is no baking involved in this. It's just convenient and easy. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to mix the cocoa and the sugar and the butter and the milk. So let's start. Right there. So for that was fun. And we got some awesome measuring utensils. So you're going to want to do 5 tablespoons of cocoa. And this is the portion that you are going to be boiling along with your butter and your milk. Just get it nice and even. So there's no baking involved in this. The only thing that you got to do is actually boil, which makes it very easy to do. And the ingredients aren't expensive. Pretty much the only expensive part was the actual vanilla. You can get artificial vanilla, but we went fancy and got the pure vanilla, which is nice. And there we go. There's 5. Give it a little tap, get it all out. So you'll see why I have everything in front of me, because when you boil the cocoa and the butter and everything, you don't want it to cool down too much, because the cocoa mixture is what is going to keep all of the oatmeal together. So you'll see what I mean when we actually get there. Next thing we're going to need is 1.5 cups of white sugar. We don't have a half cup measuring, so we just have the 1/4 cup. So let's get this. This is the 1 cup. Get it down in there and make sure that it's completely full. I'll use this just to top it off. Since it's kind of like a baking thing, but not really baking, you definitely want your measurements to be exact. And just pat that down. So there's the 1 cup. And we still need that half. And again, make sure that you're not doing it under or over. So I'll just get right in there. Quarter. And there we go. And another quarter. It's 1.5 cups of sugar. Now we're all done with that. Next thing, bear with me, is a 1/2 cup of butter. So we just got some salted butter here. I prefer salted butter just because it adds a little bit more flavor. So let's see if this one has the measuring on the outside. And it does not. Okay, so we are going to scoop just like that and just kind of use the actual thing, the packaging. I already used this spoon with butter, so don't worry, guys. Scrape it off. That's a 1/4 cup right there. Make sure you get it all in. Okay, there we go. Alright, and because it calls for 1/2 cup of butter, go in for it again. Same kind of thing, just kind of mash it up against the side. Really make sure that it's level. And use the spoon to get rid of any excess. Just scoop that right there. Get it all. You want all that good butter. There we go. Okay, so we're all done with the butter. This is pretty dirty as well, so we're all done with that. Put this right up here. Now time to see what's next. Okay, milk. This one's pretty straightforward. So this calls for 1/2 cup. So I'm actually going to quickly wash this off. Be right back. Okay, welcome back everyone. We got our nice clean 1/2 cup, well no, 1/4 cup measuring thing. So it calls for 1/2 cup of milk. So just be very careful. There's a 1/4. And there's 1/2 cup. Now from here, the reason why I have the blue bowl is that once we actually boil this and it's coming off of the stove, you want to be ready with everything else. So we're going to do our coconut now. I guess I will just use my teeth. Or I'll get some scissors with the wonderful power of YouTube. Ah, there we go. YouTube powers. Alright, 1 cup coconut. So this is a 200-gram bag that we got. 1 cup of coconut is actually quite a bit of coconut. It's like 3/4 of the entire bag. Kind of pat it down, make sure it's level. And there we go. 1 cup coconut. And this is where the oatmeal is going to come in. So the ingredient in this, one second. The main ingredient in this is the oatmeal. Fresh seal. So it requires 4 cups of oatmeal. So let's do this. And this is just regular Quaker quick oats, nothing fancy. 1. 2. 3. 4. So that filled it up quite a bit. This is going to be able to make a lot of these. So we got our oatmeal. And then, thanks Mom for sending me this. This was one of my favorite things as a child when she made it, that and peanut butter cookies. So 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which we have right here. Move this right over. I'm going to be very careful with this. Teaspoon of salt. So these are your dry ingredients. It's all taken care of. And then this is where the vanilla comes in. Fresh seal, which is nice. This is pure vanilla, a little bit more expensive, but totally worth it. So let's get this off. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to hit the like and notification button. Really going to help us out. Weekly videos. This is something that me and Keith are enjoying doing. And if you have a suggestion, something that you want us to do, please let us know. And we will do it. Okay, so 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So this stuff's very powerful because it is pure vanilla. And it's not artificial. So just toss that right in there. There you go, and that's all you need. So I'll explain what is going on. So we have this ready so that the chocolate doesn't cool down too quick. We're going to boil this, bring it to a boil, mix it up. The second we take it off the stove, we're going to come over here, pour it into this mixture, and we're going to mix it up so that the chocolate is all over it. Once that is done, the easiest way, and kind of a life hack to put them into nice little balls, is you take 2 spoons and scoop them up, kind of like you're like tossing a salad, and then you just start scooping them up, and then you plate them on the tin foil. The tin foil so that it doesn't stick, and you leave it for an hour. So yeah, I am going to go put this on the stove, bring it to a boil, and the second it starts boiling, sorry, I got a hiccup. The second it starts boiling, I'm going to bring it back over here and mix it into this. You can use a spoon, you can use your hands. Obviously, I'm going to wash my hands, take off my ring, and take off my watch. It is going to be boiling, so I'll probably actually use a spoon the more that I think about it. So catch it in a little bit once this is actually up and boiling. Welcome back, everyone. It is on the stove. As you can see, all the ingredients are in there. I am going to grab another spoon just to get this butter as it starts to heat up. It's not hot enough yet to get it in there. You can already see that the milk is starting to turn that cocoa color. The butter is really going to bring out everything, and that sugar is going to cook down. It is a sweet, it's a sweet treat without actually any baking. So just give it a little bit of time. It's probably going to take about 15 minutes to get it to that boil that you want to get it at. The bowl that we're using, the blue one, is microwavable safe, so I'm not too worried about the hot liquids that I'm about to dump into it. I am going to actually go and mix it up manually with my hands, just so all that coconut and oatmeal and vanilla is worked in. So, oh, there we go. The butter's already starting to melt. That is excellent. So once it starts, actually, the butter starts to melt a little bit more, I'm going to mix in this sugar, because it's kind of just lumped up right there. And I will push this butter right in there. Okay. So that's already there. Kind of move it around a bit. You want that butter all to melt. There we go. Thank you. Oh. Okay, so stirring it just really quickly literally just turned everything super dark, and that's what you want. All that cocoa is breaking down. Make sure it doesn't stick, so you really want to start stirring it. Get it off the sides. Turn down the heat. You don't want it too hot at the start when the butter is actually boiling. Oh yeah, like you can tell that color. Definitely start mixing it up. You want all that cocoa to kind of break apart. Oh, it smells really good. We went with the Hershey's Cocoa instead of the Fry brand. I just like the Hershey's stuff. Find it a little bit more, well, it's a little bit more pleasing. I guess it's just preference. Alright, there we go. So as you can see, all the butter is kind of melted down now. Now it's just a matter of actually getting all of this sauce, this liquid actually broken up. Make sure that there's no additional clumps. Alright, so I'm going to take 2 quick seconds and go manually mix up the oats. Bear with me, I'll be right back. So it's already boiling. Welcome back, guys. It didn't take long at all. It's not a lot of liquid, just the milk and the butter and everything really kind of brought it together. So it's bubbling already a rolling boil. So I am going to take this and go add it into the oats, and then you can watch exactly how I do it. See you in a couple seconds. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so I mixed up the oats and the coconut and the vanilla, so it's already in there. You're going to want to pour it in as it is still hot. That is what it's going to keep everything together. I'll use this spoon that has a little bit of butter on it to get everything out. There we go. Okay. So as it's still hot, just kind of mix it up. Thank you, YouTube powers. So the reason why you want to get your oatmeal and everything ready before you do anything is the hot cocoa and everything is actually going to make it stick together a lot better. You can already see it coming together. Really mix it in there. No oat should be left. There's enough chocolate to cover it all at first. It doesn't seem like it, but you should get by perfectly fine with the ingredients that we give you. So this was our butter spoon. This is my 2 spoons that I'm going to use to just kind of life hack my way through scooping this up. Put that right there again. So just like you're tossing a salad, just kind of scoop it up. So it's still just a little bit too hot. Scoop, push down, and it's okay if a lot of it like falls apart, because when it actually cools down it's going to be perfectly fine. And there you go, there's one, and then just keep on doing this until all of them are done. As long as the oatmeal is together, it doesn't matter if it like breaks apart a little bit, because once it cools down, it will stay together. And then this is the reason for the tin foil, so that it doesn't stick. And just keep on putting along. So this is actually going to make quite a bit of servings. Making them a little bit big just because I feel like it. Make sure that they're not touching each other when you put them on the tray. You don't want one super big frog. So FROGS is the name of the recipe that my mother sent me. That's what I've known them all my life, is they're called chocolate frogs. I described it to somebody today and they have a different way of saying it and a different way of calling it, but they're wrong. They're called frogs. Anything else is wrong. So this is going to take a little bit, guys. I'll be back in a little bit once the entire tray is done and tell you the next steps from there. Welcome back, everyone. After a couple minutes, I was able to put all of the ingredients into neat little balls, and as you can see, I made these portions quite big, and these are very average. It definitely makes a lot. The trick here is to not touch them at all for about an hour. Kind of the same concept as like a carbonara. You want to let it cool down. Once it cools down, it's going to keep its shape. You can refrigerate them, but it's not necessary. And once they're finished, you can also put them into bags and freeze them for later. So we're going to let these rest for roughly an hour, and once we come back, we will try them out and let you know how they are. And again, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Lost in Translation. See you in a little bit.